So do y'all have Tri-Slosh? Like I see Tri-Slosh is over here now. But did you like for your Tri-Slosh just sit over here? Because I don't love this, but we'll see if they do end up inkjetting, which I guess we'll see here. I'm actually interested. Okay, so this was like potential inkjet tech that I was like wondering if they could use the bottom left to get this like high ground. But yeah, I feel I feel like it's not the best approach to get to the leader for this exact reason. So like this tech is really cool, but yeah, against the leader and especially against Bandit's leader, this is tough. They do this like off these ledges, like it's lit. You can do some crazy stuff. Like maybe you can even do it down here and like get up here. But I really like the idea. This is very creative jet play that we love to see. I'm assuming this is Megalodon Cup. I think this was definitely #1 seed. Didn't y'all beat them twice? If I remember looking at the bracket, I think y'all won twice, right? But if you want to give some context on like if this was like grand finals or I think winners finals, you might have played them, or maybe it was winner semis. I don't remember. Yeah, you beat them twice. So was this like match point? Giving some background from Vapor. So yeah, grand finals game 1, exciting. How were your nerves? I'm actually interested. Did you get nervous? Because like I don't know how many or not majors, but like how many tournaments that you've won. But this is like high quality players. I feel like your chat and like the comms that you have with your team, from what I've heard before, I feel like you guys probably keep each other like focused. So I feel like it probably wouldn't be an issue. Not really. First S3 win. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, y'all have like triple bucket going on, which is interesting for a it's really interesting for a zones matchup. Is this comfort of like what people want to play, or is there a reason specifically? Like I can understand potentially, especially on this map, like Inkjet makes a lot of sense and Machine makes a lot of sense. Because like you can really target Bandit, and like Bandit's a really well known like charger kind of one trick, but very, very, very solid. So I could understand Brian doesn't like playing, so he's sad. I see. But yeah, I'm guessing you're trying to kind of target them, but I'm not really sure. And then yeah, you got what sounds like kind of comfort on Zuka. But when it comes to this match, like leader is very scary, but if y'all start taking control, like you'll have a lot of advantages on these splash players. I think this actually does a decent job with Crab as well. You ran comfort, I gotcha. Honestly, like this works out better than you would anticipate. Seeing some of these kind of weapons and stuff, especially on this map with like being able to camp these ledges, it works out a lot better than, you know, general just comfort stuff. So really cool. So your positioning here at the beginning, is this like, do you know that you outrange the scoped leader, or because this seems really scary, but I don't know the ranges. I don't know if this is potentially uncomfortable for you, but I don't know if they can actually hit you. It also is like a weird angle that most people probably aren't going to check. Oh, very edge. Oh, so this was, were you like deliberately like thinking about it and spacing ranges with it? Because I'm going to be honest, I play quite a bit of solo queue and I've seen some X splashes. I don't know if I've ever seen someone take that angle early on, but obviously you're like, again, this is like the cool tech that I like getting from people that are like specialists on their weapons and stuff. This is sick. So I really like that. I don't like that your team's all exploding. Oh, guessing you didn't know that that person crossed, which honestly I didn't notice that on first take anyways. That's kind of a scary spot, but honestly, I don't know. Like I think getting on top of Spinner like you did is probably like the best you can do. It's either that or you jump out completely and have to rebuild. But assuming that that person didn't cross, your positioning was like you eventually got outside of the range of the outside of the range of the machine, so you were kind of chilling in that spot. But it was unfortunate that Kaisa got through. So yeah, you'll need to take control of, like, you'll need to take something back. I don't know, like as a team, I don't know if y'all have a goal in mind when it comes to like, are you trying to, so like, are y'all looking to take back your far left area and push through here? Are you trying to take control of your plat and kind of push through mid directly, potentially look for flanks? This is where your comp is like a little scary, like getting in this type of spot. Splashes have the ability to teleport. They are really, really fast. I use Expo now, and it's like taking high position. Yeah, I've never really seen that much, so it's cool to see. One of our worst maps as a team. I see. Because I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time seeing you all have a way to break through. You do have a rain play. I think you need another special to combo, but I do think with your comp, especially with Crab, with them having a crab ready, you may actually be able to like fight for retake with and get a kind of a silly, not a full retake, but at least like give them a penalty with your rain and your expo shots. But this is still very, very dangerous, and this is the problem. Leader on Museum is so scary. Doesn't matter the mode, like zones. Rainmaker may be a little bit less scary, but still very strong. Clams especially, like if leader gets set up, if you don't have an answer for the leader specifically, which you'll have some potential gimmicks, and you can kind of displace with the rain, but this is well, actually you'll have a lot of displacement, honestly, but it's still very scary. There's a lot of pain for you all to take a special. I would have liked, I don't know exactly how you would want to set it up, but it would have been nice if y'all slowed down a little bit. Once you died here, I think your teammates should be painting for specials, and you have like, you just overload specials, take zone, hopefully can take control, but you need like more time. I don't like how much you rushed it. Y'all doing the dropping right and getting picks, so that's good. And then yeah, rain helps with the retake. I like the timing. The timing window with this is sick. Let's see if you actually retake the map completely. A lot of trades. I got the 1v1. So now is when you all potentially get scary. Now you have people set up on these like on these sides, and you're not in the position to fully like start pressuring the leader. I do like that your teammates are taking like these side angles, and y'all do have a Booyah to work with. So I think at this point it's really trying to find your in. I do kind of like you just keeping paint over here, but your other buckets can probably take control. And then if they get a pick, your T-Tech can cross. You haven't played enough, like you haven't had to retake yet, so I don't really know exactly how the enemy's trying to push. I wouldn't imagine they play very drop heavy on left, but if it is something you notice, I could understand wanting to play it. And it does make sense for you playing it specifically. Because yeah, they're playing a pretty honest approach where I think they're just content getting all their specials out and slowly pushing you through with all the paints. So, you know, again, your bucket's trying to get under ledges and looking for picks in this scenario, but we'll see how it goes. So do y'all have Tri-Slosh? Like I see Tri-Slosh is over here now. But did you like for your Tri-Slosh to sit over here? Because I don't love this, but we'll see if they do end up inkjetting, which I guess we'll see here. I'm actually interested. Okay, so this was like potential inkjet tech that I was like wondering if they could use the bottom left to get this like high ground. But yeah, I feel I feel like it's not the best approach to get to the leader for this exact reason. So like this tech is really cool, but yeah, against the leader and especially against Bandit's leader, this is tough. They do this like off these ledges, like it's lit. you can do some crazy stuff. Like maybe you can even do it down here and like get up here. But I really like the idea. This is very creative jet play that we love to see. But it looks like the enemy team's definitely gonna retake here. And so now I can understand you wanting to play more on the left side. But now retake. We'll see if y'all have a better way of going about this retake. Last time you went 2 right, and it looks like y'all lost the trade battle. We'll see. Do you think jutting from right under plow would be better than going around and poking from behind? By poking from behind, do you mean this left play that the jet ended up doing? Because I don't like that play. So like if leader was here and you knew they were here, this play is fine. But if leader's sitting on, you know, in these type of spots, I feel like it takes way too long, and you don't have the element of surprise at that point, is from my perspective. That because I feel like if you do this play 10 more times, probably 8 or 9 times out of 10, your inkjet's going down. From my perspective, I could be wrong, but from my perspective, I'd see that. I feel like I'd rather have this kind of element of surprise. Because the other thing is like, and I don't know tri-slosh ranges completely, but if you're sitting here as a tri-slosh, like you can't poke at someone that's sitting here. Like you're kind of waiting for someone to either drop or you're looking for this inkjet play. Whereas if you're hovering around this area, there's a lot of opportunities for you to do more chip, and like you can also throw ink mist and like interesting spots. I just feel like there's more setups and more ways you can contribute as a tri-slosh over here. But this is actually not I don't think this is a bad spot, because you can still pressure this front part of plat, which is why I like you in mid. But you have more room to move. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I like that you're playing back here a little bit more until you all are ready for like an actual push. Yeah. I like this, like I still think you need, and like you're comboing the rain with the jet, which is good. But I like the more disciplined approach on this retake. I think you understood that you like bet a ton trying to go through plat before. So I like the way that you retake here. And I like that you tried the right side. Like right side is what broke you in the first time. And then you'll try it again and then go down. And then you take this more measured approach with the other 2 people that built their special. So this is a good setup. I like this. EPEC staying alive. I mean, V-Shot staying alive there for so long is sick. That was a... You're playing on a razor's edge. Is that a knife's edge? Whatever that phrase is. It's very scary of a retake, but your comp kind of is bad at retakes. So this is pretty clever. Vapor's talking about chilling in this area right here. It's a little bit scary, but I will say, as a team that plays double splash a lot, getting someone out of this spot is really annoying. You just have to like full commit to it, basically. So this is kind of a blind spot for the splash players. I get really uncomfortable if there's like a machine or a bucket. Your expo is very aggressive, and when your team has the presence and the pressure to start moving forward, you love taking, as a player, you love taking like these really aggressive plays, and you do it really, really well. Like you excel. I would need to see more reps. It's an interesting idea, and I like the idea, but I can't definitively say if it's good or not. But the one thing I like with how you're retaking and like your brain's working now is that there's a lot of creativity in the way that you're playing. And I think that's very important. And I really like that you have a lot of potential like answers. So as long as you're comfortable getting shots from that area, like underneath this ledge, then I would definitely say go for it. Oof. I think your teammate pushed a little bit too fast. They could have waited to like get help from you potentially, but they're like a sub, like you're saying, so they're probably not on the same wavelength as you all always. But yeah, like I think you as a team are still trying to figure out how you want to set up on this map, which is hard. Again, your comp is kind of hard. If you're like, I'm fine with V-Shot being this aggressive, but they need to be paired with one of your other machines if they're going to be going over here. because I don't like V shot by itself on these ledges, especially against a good team, and especially against a team that can paint a ton, because they're gonna get chewed up pretty fast. They need to play it a little bit slower, and then your tri slosh that I think y'all kind of set for this game that they're gonna hold that left side, and I would rather see them be more aggressive and look for a potential pick and continuation play with y'all having control. You'll see blasters and you'll see like machines and stuff take this kind of angle, but this angle is a lot more awkward against like more traditional type of comps. Like if you have like a Tetra or something, like X-Ray is just gonna jump in on you all day and you're gonna struggle. But against a lot of these types of comps, like when we play double splash, it's super uncomfortable when there's like someone that can hit over ledges or like a blaster that can punish ledges that's in this spot. So the more I talk through it, it's interesting. Like I'm uncomfortable with the thought of Xflow being that far forward, but it makes sense. This is like being very knowledgeable and comfortable and experienced on maps. That's a spot I wouldn't initially say that I like, but the more we kind of talk through it and hearing more about it, I think it works, and I think it especially works with like what your team's trying to do. But yeah, that pick was kind of crazy. It looked like they were trying to push the. I think there was a tantalizing play against the leader that they were going for. Yeah, like Bandit's positioned over here, so I can't necessarily blame them for wanting to like even getting a trade on the leader would probably feel pretty good, but them going down basically makes it so you're gonna struggle with the retake. Yeah. The window here, y'all's timings are just a little bit staggered. I don't know if something. I'm guessing you two went for a play and got baited on like trying to get the. Oh wait, what? What did they jump to? They jumped to you? I'm so confused. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Like y'all are in a tough spot, so they need to get in fast or else y'all are gonna get collapsed on, but that's a tough jump. It technically stalls the enemy team a little bit, but that's tough. You'd have to have someone coming from like your plat to be able to support the enemy team like pushing and running after you. Because you can actually stall back here for quite a while against this kind of comp. Like you're not playing against like a stamper or something, but yeah, you definitely, yeah. Again, against their comp, you probably could stall. You have to be a little bit careful, but like making the leader reposition to have to like focus on you all, and you know, you need more support for this play to work. But I think if you get rain off and U2 doesn't jump into where you were initially, that play could potentially work out if you stall for just a little bit longer. But now, again, you're in a spot where it's like, I don't know how you all are looking to retake. Obviously, we're going to play around the rain, but like as we've seen before, you need something to pair up with rain in order for it to combo well. I don't think Inkjet's great in these spots. Like I think Inkjet is a lot better offensively than using it when you're holding and not when you're retaking, because you can't really get in a lot of good spots. You're probably going to get picked by leader in a lot of cases. In a spot like this, you know, hopefully if you can play for a Booyah Bomb, that'd be good. But yeah, these deaths are not good. You don't want to be playing on plat against this kind of comp, especially when they've already crossed. You need specials like immediately, and like your tri-slash can't really do anything. There isn't a lot of time, so I don't like blame them, but it's tough. There's a lot of conditions that you need to meet. Oh, dang. So yeah, that was a really fun game to watch. I want to go back and watch the rest of the set. Yeah, that's what you need to do. Yeah. I mean, you have to find a combo for it, and like I don't think the timing was there. But again, this goes back to like the jump that Mewtwo had. Because like if y'all had a Booyah Bomb a little bit faster, like I think y'all actually could have stalled on the left side. You know, I can understand them wanting to jump in when they respawn, but the jump that they had was bad and it delayed the Booyah Bomb. If they didn't feed there and they just like walked in normally, they could have painted for their Booyah Bomb, and even if you two go down and get collided like you did, I think you actually get Storm and Booyah in time to actually potentially retake at the end there. I want better retake ideas. Shoot. Retake ideas. And it's tough. Like, I think the strength of your comp is that y'all can potentially snowball on offense, but on defense, you have to be like pretty disciplined. A lot of times, you all just neglected this back area for retake, and that's like, it's free paint. It makes it so you don't immediately explode when the E leader is like staring at you, you know? Like, they can't really hit this back area. So if you want to paint for your specials, I think you can do a decent job of still getting, like, you can still have presence as an Explo and get paint and get specials without going up there. But I would have liked to see, you know, one of these other weapons get specials more consistently by taking those safer positions until it was y'all were ready to go. Because y'all lost a ton of points at the beginning of the match because you just kept feeding in this area. Because like when leader's sitting up here, like they just have a field day looking for angles, and like when the spinner's moving, like if you're not always directly behind the spinner, and even when you're behind spinner, eventually you have to pop out, and it's like always scary. And like if you don't have like a crab or something, it's dangerous. Y'all have specials to retake, and I think that your retake ideas were good. Like you paired the rain with inkjet, which was a little bit scary, but it worked. You know, y'all are a very aggressive team. And the retake over here was nice, but y'all wasted a lot of time and fed a lot of time. Statistically, our worst game of the whole event. I mean, there was a lot of feeding. A lot of it is kind of like, most of it's out of your control, truthfully. Rain, I think, is relatively consistent. And then, you know, what are we pairing it with? Ideally, it's going to be inkjet or like a Booyah Bomb. Probably Booyah Bomb would be better, but yeah, I would look to have that down beforehand, because you can kind of know what you're getting into, and it feels like y'all were scrambling for most of the game, and y'all kind of just like, it was lucky that the timings happened where y'all had specials at the same, like I think you used specials at the same time, but people were feeding, and it was like causing getting that second special to be a lot more difficult. I think y'all came in here with an idea. Like we talked through this, so like you're chilling on this at this point. But you know, I think you had a plan where like Tri-Slosh was sitting over here, and you had this like, or sorry, it'd be over here, and you had this like inkjet idea and stuff. But even after this inkjet got sniped, the next time when like your V shot was going for this play on the charger that was sitting down here, like your slosh could have potentially helped them, but instead the slosh went over here and like sat in this position. So I'm sure this is something y'all kind of figured out beforehand, or something you all communicated, but you probably could have adapted a little bit better. It's hard to do in like the grand finals of a tournament, so I wouldn't expect it here. Play aggressive. Like you're very much, y'all play very aggressive, and the fact that y'all are able and willing to commit to play aggressive throughout the game is really, really good. But you could definitely tell that this is not like the most consistent roster that plays together all the time. There was a lot of like slopping. I guess that would be the final thing, just like overall discipline in terms of like I said, like take this back street when you can. And what you did later for the retake, and like y'all were able to get two specials. You got Rain and you got Jet, and you were able to retake. It was a little scary, but all of your retakes are going to be pretty scary, because y'all were almost ready for another retake and another shot at still winning the game at the very end there. You were missing out on some time, and a lot of the time that you wasted early on giving them like these 70-point pushes, while y'all are just constantly feeding. Like there's different feeding. Two people dropping here and feeding is like good. This person not respecting a charger and getting splatted is not good. Yeah, this is pretty understandable. Sheesh. Bandit with a 16 though. I mean, again, there's like nothing you can do. That must have been a really sick set.